Ladies and gentlemen, Doctor Who Reviews is back on the air as we take a special look back at Series 10 from last year. And joining me are two special guests. Firstly, to my virtual left, all the whores and politicians will look up and shout, "Save us!" And he'll look down and whisper, "Mirrors! It's FreezingInferno!"
I haven't talked about mirrors on this show in 8 months, and believe me, I'm making up for lost time.
To my virtual right, it's been baking hot for the past 3 weeks. Her oven, not the weather. It's Kat.
Yo, what up?
And my virtual special guest, backed by no demand whatsoever, it's Kachiri, or it would be, but he had to bail out at the last minute.
Just sort of ignore the cobweb-covered skeleton to your, behind you.
Kat,
so
we don't talk about that.
Yeah, we don't talk about the fact that you people in America already are prepping for Halloween before it's even September. God.
Nice.
All right,
Nice.
I'll just put it back in the closet.
When do you come up with these ideas?
Hey, Tom Cruise, what are you doing here?
Oh my God.
Did you really just make a Tom Cruise in the closet joke in the year of our Lord 2018?
Damn straight I did.
Great. Moving on.
Look, he's about as sane as he is tall, so...
See, this is why I dread doing this, but the show must go on. We've got a lot to talk about regarding Series 10, but let's start with the leading man, as we always do. Peter Capaldi, the Doctor, whatever you want to call him, this was his swan song, and boy, he went out with a bang.
Literally, because the whole place exploded.
That's kind of what I was referring to, but thank you for getting the point.
What?
Just-
Explaining the jokes isn't funny? Fuck you, I do it anyway.
God's sake.
And there goes the strong language tab on YouTube. Right. No, I thought basically the same as he usually is. He is just such a good actor. I miss him already.
Oh, same.
I missed him from the moment he left the screen in Twice Upon a Time. I still miss him. And yes, I know it's a brave new era, and that's going to be a fantastic era for the show, hopefully. But I do miss him.
Like, I'm going to say it here and now, even before number 13 shows up on the screen here. Peter Capaldi, favorite revival Doctor. Just throwing that out
I mean,
right now.
it's tough competition between him, Eccleston, and Tennant. But yes.
Yeah, mine's definitely still Tennant, because he's the one that first got me into Doctor Who, so I'm kind of biased.
Who would have thought that Matt Smith would be the weakest of the 4 Doctors so far in the modern era, comparatively?
He's not the weakest. He has some of the best episodes, in my opinion, but
And
he's
some of
also
the worst.
not. And, yeah,
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a
No,
minute.
we're not talking about Matt Smith
but-
in this retrospective. God damn it, no.
No, you'll see
So
that.
I'm just gonna say that he's kind of a bit more bland. He's more of a, everybody has that sort of quality to him. He was like, "Oh, I'm excitable all over again," just like 10 was, and I'm kind of dark, just like how 9 was. So it's just one of those things where it's like, meh. Meanwhile, Capaldi, he was dark, much like how 9 was, but he went overboard with it, so to speak.
He did lighten considerably, though, throughout. I think this series he lightened considerably, really.
Oh yeah, he definitely did.
And yes, there was still
it was-
lots of mortal danger to overcome, but
Yeah. It's like his saga went really well, I thought. Whereas before it was like, we had no idea about the War Doctor, so we had no idea what 9 went through, so we couldn't really understand his journey all that well, I felt. It's like we could understand what he was, being all emo about, but we couldn't understand, what was going on during that time. But with this Doctor, we know what happened. We've seen what happened.
did the two
Maybe
of you
not
think
everything,
that
but
he
we
was
have
written?
an idea.
Do you think he was written consistently?
Minus a few stories, I think.
A few stories. I would say minus a certain writer. Yes.
Yes, I think I know what you're referring to.
Oh, I went off on it before, and I'll go off on it again. But
well, if I'm right, this episode, this writer will be in your bottom three, so maybe hold fire till then.
Okay. I already got most of this out. So
I think we all know what we're talking about, but let's just hang fire till then.
Yeah, fuck you, Rachel Taylor. How dare you?
Oh my god.
She wasn't even a writer.
She was a director. She wasn't even a writer.
She's a director and a bloody good one. Good job, Kat, with your blind hating. God, Americans, what are you good for?
Cheese Whiz and McDonald's.
Isn't a sensible answer?
Oh, I have a good
and
one.
Starbucks.
I have a good answer. Keeping the British away.
Yep, that too.
I'll let you have that one. I'll let you have that one.
Yeah, but we torched the White House, so we're the real victors in this.
Yes, you did, and yet people still look...
Hey, England, hey, I'm putting in the water and then the tea bag. Fuck you.
Oh, look at that. Someone who doesn't know any better.
Oh, look at that. Someone who stole tea originally from the Chinese, so you can shut the fuck up.
All right. 15 all. Let's forget the tennis match and get back to the business at hand here.
I know Jodie Whittaker was announced at Wimbledon, but Jesus, Rainiac, you don't have to make our podcast Wimbledon.
She was announced at Wimbledon, and then the trailer was shown at the World Cup final.
And I went viral because I made a joke tweet that yelled, "The new Doctor Who, the winner of Wimbledon will get to be the new Doctor Who."
Yes.
And then they took that completely seriously for some reason.
And then I tried it again. No, they didn't.
The fucking what website was it? I don't know what paper it was.
The Radio Times.
The Radio Times had me on the collage.
The Radio Times featured you and me, but only you got the benefit.
Oh yeah.
God damn you, surfing Canadians. But yeah, I mean, we could say a lot about Peter Capaldi, but we have said it before. And I think for the sake of brevity, we all know that we think he's rad. We said for the whole 12 reviews of the last series, he was rad. We said since 2014 he was rad.
Load up any episode that isn't that one, like, of our review show, and you'll find us praising Peter Capaldi.
Even that one, he tries his best, given what he's given,
which
is terrible.
That's the only good part of that one, is it's well acted. Yep. So.
And the whole point about Peter Capaldi is I feel like he's been almost consistently brilliant, and he was let down by what was around him. Sometimes.
Yeah, pretty much.
When Moffat nailed it, he knocked it out of the park. When Moffat didn't nail it, Capaldi tried to salvage it.
Basically.
With varying results.
That's fair. I mean, a lot of people who are way more critical of Moffat, even they will say Peter Capaldi was a good actor let down by bad scripts, which I don't think is entirely true. I don't think it's entirely true, but it says something to the testament of Peter Capaldi that even the people who don't like Moffat are like, yeah, he's really good.
I see where they're coming from. I do see where they're coming from, but I have to respectfully disagree. But
oh yeah.
Now another major character who definitely divided opinion was our companion for this series, Bill Potts. Well, the main companion, Bill Potts.
Oh, Bill.
This is not going to make me very popular, what I have to say about Bill.
Oh, shit.
I like...
Kat, give me my pitchfork.
No. You don't need a pitchfork.
I'll let you give me my torch.
We can tolerate dissenting opinions on this podcast, can we not?
Oh, we can tolerate.
We can tolerate them, and we'll love the shit out of you. It's just our version of love is beating the crap out of you.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Antifa. Right.
Oh, God. Brady, come on now. We're not gonna punch you in the face for not liking Bill.
No, because
Look,
I'm not
if you're going to insult me, at
I'm
least
not the
do it with the
racist guy from
reference I
Thin
get.
Ice. There, I brought it back. Okay.
There you go. Bill, go on.
Yes, Bill. Here's the unpopular thing. I like the character. I think Permac did a decent job, but when you look at the companions we've had, I think maybe the weakest companion is Martha Jones.
I don't think so.
And I like Martha. I liked Martha, but she was compared to the others. I mean, Rose is pretty iconic. We've gushed about Clara time and again.
You mean I've gushed about Clara time and again?
And me. I'm a big fan of Clara too.
Look, she's no Clara, but I like her.
Amy's pretty popular. Well, am I? That's it, though. Am I comparing popularity with strength of character? I think I might be.
Well, see, okay. Well, for
Yeah,
me,
because I was going to say, Rose isn't that strong of a character.
no.
Maybe not. Yeah.
She's a popular one, and she's well known because of what she did in her run, but she's not a strong.
But that's what this whole thing is supposed to be
Except
about.
her eyebrows are very strong.
Yes. She was pretty damn good in the Day of the Doctor, but
Yes.
that wasn't even her technically.
Bill, I would put my, if we're ranking companions, mid-tier, let's say. Mid-tier. Mid to high tier. She's not the best companion. My favorite is still Clara.
I think it goes Clara.
She's up there.
I think it goes Clara, Donna, Amy.
Here's my unpopular opinion. I would actually put her above Amy.
Okay.
Same.
You're allowed to have that opinion.
It's wrong, but I'm allowed to have it.
No, it's not wrong.
I mean, Amy's nice, but it just felt like there was way too much drama around her.
Amy might have been hurt by Series 6. In hindsight.
Well,
because it got way too convoluted.
It's like, I'm going to get a really unpopular opinion, but towards the end, Amy got really Mary Sue for me.
Really?
It's like, oh, she's River Song's mother, and she's
I think towards the end, once River Song had been revealed as being her daughter, Amy took a bit of a back seat. Yeah. And that's kind of also the problem with Bill here, in a way. Like, her writing, for me, and I might be mistaken here, but it was quite inconsistent.
I don't know.
Like, one week she's frightened, the next week she's running into danger with no regard for herself. It's...
I don't know if I entirely agree with that.
Well, from the sound of it, you don't agree with it at all. So...
Well, can you give like an example of two back-to-back episodes or something?
Not necessarily back-to-back, but Empress of Mars, she comes across as quite generic. Like, her character is barely... I don't want to say noticeable, but Bill doesn't come across as Bill. It's almost like they wrote Empress of Mars for a different character entirely, and then changed their mind, and Bill was added to it. Because I do know Empress of Mars was supposed to be one of the first episodes, and it was moved in the schedules quite a bit.
Well, I did not know that.
I
Well,
think
maybe
it
that's the
was.
issue then.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was. Possibly swapping with either Oxygen or Thin Ice. I can't remember exactly which one, but it would have to be before Oxygen because of the whole blindness thing. Because there's no way the blindness thing would work in Empress of Mars. He needs his senses for that story. I don't know. It's hard to give a specific example, but I don't know. It's just that she didn't come across as entirely a true sense of herself in every story. I'm trying not to sound harsh. I'm trying to sound positive.
Like we're not trying to put you down. We're trying to understand where you're coming from.
No. And the more I talk this through, maybe it's nonsense, but I don't know. She just didn't feel as strong as certain other companions, but that's okay. A real contradiction, her ending. because she gets two endings, and they seem to contradict each other entirely. I mean, I know Michael had the theory that, Heather was actually part of Testimony, and that sort of works, but...
I don't know if I buy... I mean, I can buy how it goes in that she goes off with Heather, they have space adventures, and then at some indeterminate point in the future, she becomes human again, or whatever, or dies, basically, natural end, and becomes a part of Testimony, and shows up in Twice Upon a Time.
I think it's left ambiguous, isn't it?
Well, you know how I love my ambiguity.
Oh, you love your ambiguity.
I think the only thing we can be for sure is that when she is part of Testimony, she definitely remembers being with Heather. So obviously it's after Heather picks her up, but that's about all we know.
Well, there you go. That's
Yeah. But no, if you thought she was a strong companion, more power to you. I mean...
Well, here's what I like about Bill, and there is some inconsistency, but this is more of a thing that I noticed early on that they never really followed up on. Well, the first thing I love is her dynamic with Capaldi, because Clara and Capaldi definitely had sort of this mentor-student relationship sort of thing going, where Clara, being a teacher, was trying to teach the Doctor how to be, nicer and all. There's a lot of little moments of this happening, and Into the Dalek has it, and God help me, fucking Under the Lake has it. And then you get the bit in Heaven Sent where it goes back to that after all the mirroring shit that I've talked about at length on the show, where Clara, in the Doctor's memory, is giving him advice on a blackboard. My throat is...
Yeah.
One moment.
This is why I got tea before we started.
On a blackboard.
Yes. On the blackboard. So, she had that whole relationship there. And it sort of flips once we get to Bill, where Bill is the student and Capaldi, the Doctor, is the professor, taking her around time and space. The pilot is really a nice invocation of this, which also doubles as sort of an introduction to Doctor Who for the newbie. It's here's the TARDIS. It can travel in space. It can travel in time. It can travel to other planets. And there's all this stuff there. But there's also this fun bit where Bill is sort of a sci-fi savvy and knows the tropes of things and whatnot. There's a few mentions of this in the pilot and Smile, early on, but then that doesn't really come up again.
Yeah.
It's a theme that pops up early, but it didn't really get followed up on by any of the others. There could be something later on that I'm not remembering, but it's not exactly a thing that is picked up on and used by every writer, but it was there early on.
I would say for Bill, my best description of her is she's interesting, but she's not offensive.
Yeah.
So, they write her just enough so that she's interesting, but not so much that people would be like, oh, I don't like Bill, she's too this, or she's too that.
Well,
one thing I think they did get
fair, right. If I may, to be fair, a lot of people already checked out of Bill because, A, a woman of color, and B, lesbian, which already is flagging the offensive marker.
Yeah, but I'm saying when they write her, they didn't make that, their number one goal. It's it's not every episode they're going, look, she's gay, look.
And
look,
thank God for that.
I was just about to bring that up, actually. That's one big plus with Bill.
Mm-hmm.
It was established that she was gay, and there were references to it in some of the episodes, but it wasn't hammered into the ground.
Nope.
Which, I don't know.
Even with Thin Ice, when we got to see the racist get punched, that was just part of the culture of that time. It's that's something you would expect to be brought up.
And I think in that episode she didn't mention sexuality at all.
Yeah, I don't think so.
The most overt is the Eaters of Light.
Yeah.
Where she's discussing with the soldiers and this rather great subversion. It's oh, you only like women. Well, to us that's not normal because we like men and women, but he just likes men. And
Look, when it comes to the Romans, they would fuck anything.
that's more the Greeks, but yes.
Anything, trust me, it was anything.
That's more the Greeks, but yes.
No, trust me, it was the Romans too.
I don't know how it would have gone down if they yelled Bill is gay from the rooftops every episode, but what we got, pretty great.
It would have been very divisive if they'd done that. But no, I after the initial introduction, it was mostly kept more subtle, and I personally appreciated that.
Well, either way, I hope that the people who wanted that kind of representation felt that they got their due diligence.
Didn't stop certain fools on the internet shouting how the show had been ruined forever, but yeah.
Oh, God.
It's going to happen every single time you have something different.
Especially now with Jodie. Especially now with Jodie.
Do you know how I said fuck Ian Levine?
It's like I wasn't there for when 9 started.
Oh, what?
I wasn't there for when 9 started, but I'm sure there was some classic Who fans going, "This isn't Doctor Who. This isn't how it's supposed to be." Rob.
Yeah, Ian Levine.
That's Ian fucking Levine.
Well, there you go.
The man who literally helped make half the shitty decisions in the goddamn Colin Baker era, and this is the line he draws, Doctor Who being a woman?
Allow me to play the world's tiniest violin for him. No,
okay.
I'm sorry, I try to see the good in most people, but he's just an imbecile.
Ian Levine is the Doctor Who fandom equivalent of that Simpsons picture, Old Man Yells at Cloud.
Yes. Yes, basically.
Let's talk about something a bit more positive.
Yeah.
Like
Nardole, who was a real surprise in this series, I think.
Oh, yeah. Like, I was thinking about this before we started, and when it was first announced that Nardole would come back, given his performance in Husband's a River Song, I was kind of like, oh, God. Because his performance in that is basically, I don't wanna.
Yeah.
But here, he's actually part of the trio, and he fulfills the fun little role of being the wet blanket mom friend, which is, he definitely has his moments.
I think from Doctor Mysterio onwards, he wasn't in every episode predominantly. Like, he wasn't featured prominently in every episode. But
which worked in his favor.
Yeah, the ones he was featured in, he's actually really good in. And I wasn't a huge fan of Matt Lucas. I still technically am not now that the show's up. His participation in the show's over, but he's actually really good.
He works.
It just sort of works.
He's not. He's smart, but he's not so smart that he overshadows the Doctor. He's street smart. He goes around and he just lives his life.
I mean, he's there. He's there predominantly that when Bill cannot be with the Doctor as the companion, Nardole can be. It allows them to separate.
Plus, when the Doctor needs a good kick in the ass.
But he's far more than just a plot device.
Oh, yeah.
He's got, an established character. We have a bit of a backstory for him, which isn't ever fully established, but there's enough there to go off.
There's a really, really depressing ending for him.
Yeah, he basically dies off camera.
Yep.
Or we could infer that he dies off camera.
Depressing.
That is depressing.
Dies off camera to Cybermen.
At least Adric had a heroic death. Jesus.
He couldn't even go out like one of those frozen people in one of the Colin Baker series that I forgot the name of.
Attack of the Cybermen?
That's it.
What, were the fucking ice lady heats up like heats up the fucking like explosive shit and
I was thinking more the one that got shot, but
Can you guys tell that we've been watching the Twitch streaming of the Doctor Who episodes? Because we have been.
I didn't watch any Colin Baker.
I did. It was awesome.
I have to say, I think seeing so much of the old series has sort of coloured my opinion a bit on the new series, which is not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. It's given me a new perspective. It gives some
context.
Yes.
But I think the episodes that Nardole particularly shined in, and feel free to disagree with me here, but I think Extremis, he shines in.
Yeah.
The Doctor Falls.
Yeah.
The Eaters of Light, he's not bad in either.
Oxygen, I thought he was nice in Oxygen.
Yes, he's good in Oxygen. That's his first sort of real main appearance as a supporting character, isn't it?
It's his first sort of adventure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Mysterio, which technically, I guess.
Yeah, I think Mysterio counts, and he was really good in that. So yeah, I think Nardole on the whole was a triumph, and dare I say it, possibly, maybe even the slightly stronger of the two?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I know. I know that's controversial. Speaking of controversial, then, we got yet another story arc this season. And it really was a game of two halves.
Oh, right. The fucking vault.
Well, yeah, the vault was what we were told was the series arc at the first half of the series.
At least they pulled the Band-Aid off that pretty goddamn quick.
Yeah, because, let's be honest, the first 5 episodes of the arc sucked.
It's just, there's something in there. What could it be? What could it be? Oh, what a surprise is missing.
Yeah. Which everybody predicted.
Well, I mean, I in the Capaldi era, I remember Series 8, I went off on the arc as soon as Missy showed up. Like, oh, come on. Okay, you're going to tease this out this long, but it worked because Michelle Gomez is a national treasure.
Yes.
Yes. She is brilliant. Well, she's not dead, but we'll get on to why you're saying that in a moment.
She's dead to me.
Let's be be honest. We had enough of these. Here's a mystery arcs in Moffat's era by now. And
to be fair, he kind of dialed it. To be fair, he was really sort of dialing it back. Even by Series 7, he was sort of playing with it and trying to subvert it and be clever about it, like the whole Impossible Girl thing, which was an arc whose entire resolution was basically, you dumb shit, stop looking for an arc. She's perfectly normal.
And then, of course, she turned out to not be, technically, but...
Well...
I will say the best arc, I think, is Amy's arc, where nobody realizes that she's not there. And it turns out she's actually with the eye patch lady the whole time.
That's a good arc. The cracks in time.
Yeah.
I think the cracks in time was done really well.
Amy has some good arcs, I will say that.
She does.
Oh, yeah.
She does. But no, this was just like, here's a mystery, and we're going to solve it now, but we're going to drag the mystery out for a whole 10 episodes. Thankfully, we didn't. Because after 6, they pulled the plug.
Yeah.
Here's a box.
Here's a
What's
box.
inside the box?
An evil
I don't
woman.
know. What's inside the box?
An evil woman.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Well, what's in the box? And you've kind of ruined it because you've talked over each other. But what's in the box? Was Michelle Gomez?
I thought it was going to be Gwyneth Paltrow.
Get out of here. Get out of town.
Man, he really got ahead of us all.
What are you?
Oh my. Okay, that was worse. That was worse. You gotta admit.
Pish.
What are you, a goop aficionado? Get out of here.
I've never even seen the movie.
Oh, you are...
We need to stop this podcast right now and let you see that movie.
I'll add that to the list.
It's not that vital.
We'll wait till it's over, but it's pretty damn good. No, it was not Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
I've seen John Wick. Which, if you guys like dogs, do not watch John Wick. Do not.
Yeah, I like dogs, and I would want to see a good action movie, but I don't want to.
I'm guessing we have to add a John Wick column to doesthedogdie.com.
Oh, I'm sure it's already on there.
If you go to doesthedogdie.com and put in John Wick, it just plays sirens as loud as possible on your speakers.
Okay, I'm not watching that film then. But no,
and it's in like the first couple minutes too. So
inside the vault was not Gwyneth Paltrow's head. Thank goodness. It was Missy.
What a shock!
The real star of the series for me.
Yes.
Once she showed up.
I mean, Again, Michelle Gomez is a treasure.
Yeah. She's such a treasure. She got a story arc. She gets a damn story arc devoted to her.
Yes.
That's how important the Master has become to this show. The villain gets a story arc.
Well, the Master was important to this show.
Well, yeah.
Was.
Yeah. But we already touched on when that episode aired how they could get around that.
Yeah, but I don't want them to.
I mean, they could get around that by Chris just kind of go, fuck it, continuity doesn't matter.
What, you mean the motto of every single Doctor Who episode ever?
Basically.
I mean, what show have you been watching where that hasn't been the...
Doctor Who, fuck continuity.
Doctor Who, we had 3 fucking versions of Atlantis.
Yes. I knew that was coming up. But no, I think Missy's character arc is compelling, it's gripping, it's hard to believe the Master could ever be redeemed.
It's perfect.
But she manages it. Michelle Gomez manages to make you believe. And she shows up. I
literally started crying.
She shows up in 4 episodes of the series, not counting cameos. She pulls it off in 4 episodes. That's pretty impressive.
She is just amazing.
I mean, I'm starting to think who's the bigger loss to the series? Peter Capaldi, Michelle Gomez,
Missy.
I was going to say Murray Gold, but okay, Missy.
Both.
Yes, both is good.
Both is good.
No, she's just tremendous.
She really is.
She even managed to salvage a little bit of Lie of the Land. For the 5 minutes, for the 5 minutes she's on screen,
she's great, but she's not that great.
For the 5 minutes she's on screen, I forgot about all the problems with that episode, and then she disappeared, and it got bad again.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. This proves how great Michelle Gomez. Lie of the Land would be vastly improved if she was actually, in it.
For more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, if they had let her out of the vault at that point, I would have been all over it. It's yeah. It's like we've already discussed this in length before, and we don't really have time to get back into it.
I'll just say one sentence. She's literally there just to raise a goddamn practicality point of kill one person to save the world. To have the doctor go no, and then okay.
But she's
Plus,
technically
there's
right.
The idea of having her do the sort of thing in Oxygen where she, quote unquote, kills Bill, and then it turns out she doesn't actually, and this is part of her redemption.
Wait, Oxygen? She didn't kill Bill in Oxygen.
No, I'm saying she would do the same thing in Oxygen, where everybody thought Bill was dead, but then she wasn't actually dead.
Oh my god, that would have been amazing if they'd moved Oxygen to later in the series, and it's she hits the button to kill her.
Dang!
Oh my god, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If in Lie of the Land, Missy had come in with the Doctor to the big pyramid, fuck off, whatever the hell that thing is, the quote unquote leaf moment.
That's the best description of that episode. The gigantic
but if she had
whatever.
come in there and she had decided to fix everything by quote unquote killing Bill to the point where she was brain dead long enough for the connection to break, then I would have been a lot happier with Lie of the Land, that's for sure.
The gigantic pyramid fuck off whatever, Cat 2018.
God.
Well, that's what it was.
And there's 2 ways I could have done this. I can understand. I mean, part of me would have loved this to get out of the vault, go on a few adventures with the Doctor and company, and then the finale happens. Yeah,
just something more than what they currently have.
But I can also understand why
they currently have.
I can also understand why they didn't do that, because we already had 2 companions, and you'd have them all fighting for screen time.
3 companions? That could never work.
The new series is having 3.
I know. And I'm slightly worried about that, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But no, she was just perfect. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Missy was just perfect. And then as if
it's like,
one master...
I'm sure there will be people who are like, don't think that she's a very good master. I thought she was really good as the master, but then again, I also don't know many of the masters.
No, look. I don't know how many you saw on Classic Marathon, but Missy, fucking
none.
top 3.
Best since Delgado. Best since Delgado by far.
Best since yeah. I'll give you that one.
And I say this as a huge John Sim fan.
I mean, yeah.
But she's better than him. But we did get a John Sim return.
Yeah,
it was spoiled 5 weeks before the episode aired. The first episode aired. Thanks for that, Mirror.
Hey, he said it!
Yes,
the Mirror's betrayed us!
The paper that leaked it was the Mirror.
Wow,
or was it the Sun?
Why would you hate it when...
Or was it the Sun?
You don't even know!
I mean, they're both as bad as each other.
I think at this point I've given the man a bias, and that once he sees the paper, the Mirror, he automatically thinks they did the bad thing.
Fresno, it could be called Independent News and it would still be terrible. The name doesn't matter. What matters is the claptrap they print.
Yeah, I mean, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet.
Yeah, and that newspaper by any other name would still be used for toilet paper.
Daily Mail by any other name would still be shit.
That newspaper by any other name would still be useful only as toilet paper.
At least that wasn't featured. At least that was featured in a good publication like the Radio Times.
Yeah. Well, you weren't featured in the publication. You were on the website. Let's not get ahead of yourself. Don't get too much of an ego. Rein it in. But
just a little.
We only have enough room for 4 people on this call. We don't need to add 5.
Wait a minute. But yeah, as if one master wasn't enough, we got 2. And it was absolutely awesome for me.
Beautiful.
It was beautiful.
I mean, okay, he's not as good as Missy. I accept that. But I still have a soft spot.
He worked damn well with Missy.
I still have a soft spot for Sim's master. So seeing him come back was a dream come true. Seeing him share the screen with Michelle Gomez was an even bigger dream come true.
I enjoyed him up until the whole electric skeleton thing. That was kind of weird.
Yeah, your mileage may vary on that.
Oh, Rusty Davies.
It was his final episode.
Yeah,
I think
he was really good in this.
He just threw his pen in the air and went, bugger it. We have what we have.
Christ.
I could change it, but I'm not gonna. He did go out like an absolute boss at the end of time, though. We do have that.
And less of a boss in this.
Yeah. He shoots himself in the back.
And she shoots herself in the back.
Yeah. Which, if you think about it, that's just the perfect way for the master to finish themselves off.
Oh, absolutely.
We shoot ourselves in the back.
It's like, it's not the doctor, it's not some random scheme or, enemy, and it's not like they escaped. No, it's just they shot each other in the back.
It's not a pocket universe collapsing in on itself because it never really existed to begin with. No, they shoot themselves in the back.
There you go.
Yes, I watched Castro Valva. What of it?
There's no escaping. There's no running away. It just happens, and it's exactly what the master would do.
And I'm going to make a little prediction here. We don't see the master at all for a while.
Probably.
I think we will see them again because I think they're too good a villain to not use eventually. But I don't think we'll see them.
Missy's kind of dead.
No, Missy's dead, but it could be another incarnation between them, or the death might get reversed somehow, or continuity might not matter.
Look. Do you seriously think that Doctor Who, which has been running for 55 years, is going to definitively finally kill the Master here and now?
No, because
they killed off the fish people.
They've had several chances to do it.
They're still real to me, damn it!
They were going to do it in the Delgado era, but they didn't.
No, because Delgado died. Like, for real.
Yeah. That's still sad to this day.
Yeah. But,
I love the bit where he's fencing with John Pertwee.
and the synthesizers are going crazy, and Torch eats a sandwich. But yeah, what was the point I was going to make here?
Wait, we eats a sandwich?
No, he eats the Master's lunch in the middle of the fight.
Okay, I heard that he was a sandwich. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yes, John Pertwee is a sandwich.
The Master didn't show up at all for all of Matt Smith's run.
Is there a lunch monster right next to the Candyman?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
The Master didn't show up at all for Matt Smith's run, so I'm sure Rainiac has a point there where the Master might not show up for a while. They might not even show up for Jodie's run.
They might not. They might not. I would be very surprised if we see them at the very least Series 13.
I mean, once Still Gotta Die, there was a handful. Like, every couple of years, you have, like, show up as a fucking gross skeleton.
I've just remembered, by the way, one of the funniest things I've read regarding the Master. I've got, like, a Series 8, or a Series 9 Doctor Who annual that my parents bought me for a bit of a laugh at Christmas time. And it's basically Missy talking about her previous incarnations, and she's like, oh, that was the time my face fell off.
As faces do.
Well, they do when you're basically a mouldy old pickle. Like that Master was.
I prefer the term that fandoms to refer to Peter Pratt's Master in The Deadly Assassin as the Pizza Face Master.
Yeah, I'll get behind that.
Pizza the Hut.
Pizza the Hut.
I still love that.
But no, for me, the two Masters was an absolute highlight, and they really did make the series finale for me, and I think for many people. It's a shame they had to spoil the big reveal first in the press. Names of papers I won't mention, but they're only good enough for toilet paper. And then they had to reveal it in a big trailer at the end of the first episode, the pilot. I will say one thing. Watching World of Time again, it's now obvious that it is Sim, is Razor.
I didn't expect it.
Like, you buy into it the first time. The first time you watch it, you buy into it. You don't realise it's him, even though you know that he's showing up at some point. The second time I watched it, I was fooled again. But, 10 months down the line, you watch it again, yeah, there's even bits where his voice just completely goes into John Sim. Like, he doesn't even sound like he's putting on an accent. It was still good.
Plus, it's just the way he acts.
I appreciated the way that
the cruelty behind the mask thing.
Yeah, I appreciated the fact that they brought back the disguises, and it was necessary because Bill would recognise him as Harold Saxon. That's genius.
Yes.
That's genius. And that's actually continuity, thank God. Now, this is something I know that Kat wanted to talk about. The various monsters and villains and other opponents the Doctor faced throughout this series.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like one of those things where Doctor Who is really, really good at coming up with inventive monsters. I mean, obviously they have their staples, the Cybermen, the Daleks, and so on and so forth. But they also are really, really good at coming up with random shit. Like, here's a giant snake. Here's a shadow that kills you. Here's a whole bunch of tiny robots that make up the entire fucking area around you. And you can't do shit. I liked Smile, by the way.
Oh, yeah, Smile. Yeah, the varieties are pretty inventive.
And it's like, even in the Monk trilogy, the monks are really, really cool. Up until they get fucked up, but they're really, really cool.
I mean, for 3 weeks spent on them, definitely. Even though the resolution doesn't stick at all.
Yeah, like I said, they completely fucked it up.
They definitely are built as a force to be reckoned with, for sure. They're by virtue of being featured so much in the series, the standout monster design of the series, I think.
The monks could have been so good.
Oh,
they could have been. I'm still sad that they weren't.
Just throw on Extremis again and pretend the Doctor solved the. That's not.
Yeah, solved it off screen. Yeah. I mean, I saw the monks as potential successors to the Silence. They were that good potentially.
There's a lot of similarities.
And just like the Silence, they were squandered.
Wait, the what?
Oh, I see what you did there.
What? What did I do?
Wait, what's this pen mark that's pinned on my arm? Oh no.
What are we talking about?
Fish people?
Fish people! Let's talk about the fish people.
That's another one for the bingo sheet.
Hey, I haven't even brought up mirrors yet.
Yes, you have, several times.
I said yet!
Alright, I would like to take this moment to remind everybody that if you get alcohol poisoning from the Doctor Who drinking game, we are not liable for any damages caused by that.
Yes, we accept no responsibility for things you may or may not do to yourself as a result of listening to this podcast.
What's this? What's this? Oh, David Cameron fucked a pig?
Wait, what's this? What's this?
Hi, it's motherfucking Santa!
What's this? Donald Trump did something in a hotel bedroom in Russia?
Golden showers.
In every sense of the word.
Keeping the trope alive!
Look, we gotta get all this out, people. We have a brand new series to cover.
Yes.
We gotta get this all out now, or else we're just gonna
It's
keep going
been
back
8
to
months, I told you.
Big changes afoot. Not least because Article 13 is going to fuck us over. Thanks, European Union. Gee, I wonder why we're leaving you in March.
Because your country voted poorly?
That's a matter for opinion.
Anyway,
Doctor Who!
we're talking about fake monsters, not real life monsters right now.
Yes.
So, I'm trying to think of what other monsters are in the thing. I mean, we've got the puddle, I guess, which is...
Heather, yeah.
Yeah.
The Heather / puddle.
This isn't a new monster, but I think I've read somewhere that they contractually have to use the Daleks at least once a year.
Yeah.
Keep the rights to them. So that's why the Daleks show up in the pilot. But Moffat goes the extra fucking mile and brings back the...
Yeah, he has them blast the hell out the Movellans. The Movellans of all things. Romanda II's first storyline, and my god, they brought them back.
Boney M in space.
Those Boney M bastards in space.
Okay, what? And then there's the big fish and thin ice.
There's the emoji robots. There's the wood bugs.
The wood bugs are okay. Oxygen.
The suits.
Yeah, the suits. That's not really a monster.
No.
The real monster is capitalism.
The Eaters of Light.
Take a shot.
That's a cool one. That's a cool
And then,
design.
of course, the big over-returning monster other than the Cybermen, the Ice Warriors, who personally I think they nailed.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
They're never going to be that...
It was a nice episode to have after Lie of the Land, that's for sure.
Yes.
Oh, thank God. Yes. In that respect, yeah, that's a great thing. And the Ice Queen is a really neat new idea.
It benefited hugely from its positioning in the series because we were ready for any kind of palate cleanser after Lie of the Land.
I wouldn't put it above Cold War if we're talking about new series Ice War, but
I think Cold War is so underrated.
I mean, yeah. A lot of people will criticize the entire thing of the Ice War getting out of the suit, then it turning into fucking Alien, but I love it.
Yeah, it worked.
It's something that the show hasn't done before. That worked.
For a submarine-based episode,
like,
it
Alien
worked.
is good. Why wouldn't you want more Alien?
Can I say a quick aside here? A quick thing that I know. There's on one of the documentaries of my Doctor Who DVDs, the Tom Baker years. What's the lady who plays Romana was talking about seeing Alien in the theater with Tom Baker, and everyone was talking in the movie, like they're just talking about how they're going to beat the alien or whatever, and then Tom Baker just yells, "Why don't they just go down into the hangar and bore the alien to death?" Just imagine that in Tom Baker's just boom voice.
Yes. You're talking about. I take it you're talking about Lalla Ward, who was married to him for a while.
That's the one, the second one. Yeah.
Yes, the second Romana.
That Romana.
Rest in peace, Marytown.
I like the second Romana a bit better.
I think they're both good, but I agree with you that I think Romana the second is the better character.
Yeah. But not to knock Marytown.
I'm going to be honest, though. I think there was some good variety in the opponents that Doctor got to face this time around, but were any of them really that memorable, other than maybe the monks for all the wrong reasons?
Not especially.
I remember the emoji bots really well. Just
the emoji bots with their appearance is pretty memorable, but
emoji bots and the.
Well, it's not their appearance; it's the fact that they made up the entire area. They were the walls, the floor, the ceiling, everything.
And then
that's terrifying.
The human villains or the non-alien villains, they're very thin on the ground this year. You've got Heather's not a villain; she doesn't count.
You've got Lord Sutcliffe.
I couldn't even remember his name. Thank you. The racist guy from Thin Ice.
Punchy McFace.
You've got the other racist guy from Empress of Mars, the imperialist soldier asshole.
David Suchet.
And the most memorable of all, the landlord.
Is that how you say it? Is that how you say it?
David Suchet. Yeah, David Suchet.
Okay. Yeah.
Who I think is a good performance by him, but he can't save the episode, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right. So, I think all that remains for Series 10, to put it in the book, is for us to go through our bottom 3 episodes and our top 3 episodes.
Fun!
Do you want to do like the bottom 3 and then the top 3 together, or do you want to do like bottom 3 and then go back to top 3?
We can do like bottom and top together for each of us, I think.
Who'd like to go first?
We're all jumping up on the top of our seats, aren't we?
Kat, ladies first.
Damn it. Okay. I'm going to be slightly controversial and say that my bottom 3 starts with Lie of the Land, then goes to Pyramid, and then Extremis.
Well,
and only because Lie of the Land so ruins the trilogy for me that it even ruins Extremis for me.
I think that's the same opinion that Michael has.
I can't really say that. I'm a lot more forgiving of Extreme. I'm able to look at it now as a standalone rather than something which has its potential squandered. But I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Plus, Extremis also reminds me of The Matrix, and then it reminds me of the awful, awful sequels to The Matrix. Wait, Extremis is The Matrix.
What sequels? I don't
it's a
remember
really
sequels.
good one followed by 2 shit ones.
I don't remember sequels. I don't remember any sequels to The Matrix. I don't know what you're talking about, Kat.
Well, you have to at least remember the Animatrix. That one was good.
That was all right. But no. What happened was the Matrix ended. Neo flew away, and he went to his home planet, and he died off screen. That's what happened.
He was fucking Poochie. Okay.
He was Poochie, yes.
So top 3 then.
Yeah, your top 3, Kat.
Top 3. This one was a little bit harder. It's like, I know my top 3, but I don't have a specific order for them. They're just ones that I generally enjoy.
That's fine.
Altogether. So, Oxygen is one of them. Just because, of the fabulous acting, the idea of this is almost a no-win situation, yet they still managed to get out of it. Capitalism, so on and so forth. Smile, just because I happen to really, really like the ideas within it. It's just one of those things where it's harmless in the end. It's not great, but it's not going to hurt anybody. And then my third one is Empress of Mars.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't fucking love Empress of Mars?
Now I just want to throw this podcast back in time 4 years and let your past self hear your future self praise an episode written by the fucking In the Forest of the Night guy.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He actually did it right this time. He didn't fucking do magic trees that spout out of nowhere. This time he did instead robots that actually have a physical use.
Okay.
And you can kind of understand where the robots are coming from with their, what their objective is. They just don't understand. Their AI doesn't understand what's going on, so they're doing what their AI is telling them to, and that's stop what the grief is coming from.
I like that top 3 a lot.
Thank you.
It's pretty good.
Okay, Fresno.
Let's see. Bottom 3. I think I can narrow it down a little bit here. At number 3, I'm going to put... And this is a bit controversial. Let's see. Let me just make sure that works for me. Looking at the episode list.
See, I wonder if it's Lie of the Land.
No.
Number 3, Kat.
Number 3. I think I'll throw it. I think I'll have to give it to the Eaters of Light, actually, because it's good, but it's like on the bottom tier for me. The other episodes I think did think better, and Eaters of Light didn't really resonate that much for me personally. But I don't want to knock anybody who likes it. It's not shit. It's just didn't do it for me. On the same tack, number 2, Knock Knock. I like the idea behind it. I do like some of the consensual horror, but it doesn't really stick the landing. It doesn't particularly work that well. But that's nothing compared to number 1, shocker of shocks, Lie of the Land, an episode that not only is terrible, but holds active contempt for anyone who gives a shit about the show, all but laughing in their faces and about teasing them with the hypes and changes and thinking that it would do anything other than be the most rote, stock, tropey borrowing from other episodes while managing to be less than the sum of its parts. Doctor Who ever. The only good thing you can say about it is it's well acted. It completely blows a great premise that was started in extremis and had potential to be okay after Pyramid of the End of the World. It is just garbage, awful. I hate it. I don't like it at all. Bleh.
Yeah.
Chris Chibnall, please don't have Toby Whittaker back.
Your top 3? I don't think that's going to be a problem, but your top 3?
Oh, top 3. Okay. This is hard. But I'm going to go like so. Number 3, The Doctor Falls. Because it's a really solid finale. And It has lots of great stuff in it, great moments. It pushes everything to the darkest limits, and then right at the end, you get those slivers. Great. Number 2, Thin Ice. Just a really nice little moral episode that shows the entire morality of Doctor Who on its stride. It has lots of great things, and it has a reprehensible person who thinks he can have anything he wants because he's a rich asshole, get his plans utterly ruined, and you can just feel the hatred coming from him when he tries to blow up the lake, the river Thames, but he can't do it. You can just feel the gears in his mind going, how dare they! I get whatever I want! And then he just dies an ignoble death in the river. And he gets punched in the fucking face early in the episode for being a racist.
I was waiting for that.
Yes, we never talked about that for about 10 minutes when it happened.
Yeah, well, it's and I feel like I know it was probably filmed like ages in advance, but it's really kind of politically brave in a way that at a moment in our history when people like Richard Spencer were getting punched in the face by the left, the Doctor Who put out an episode that said, "Hey, here's our hero punching a racist in the fucking face." Like, wow. Like, the brass balls that
when did Spencer
ended up
get
showing?
punched, though? Was that like the beginning of 2017?
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Right, so they might have filmed that scene before it happened?
I don't know. I don't know if the timing works out that they actually filmed it before that, but if it did, either it's just a serendipitous bit of coincidence, or they actually reacted to it. Either way...
I am really curious about what your number 1 is.
Oh, well, since I've been yelling about this political shit, it should come as no surprise. Number 1, Oxygen.
Yeah.
Which is literally just fuck capitalism in space.
Basically, yeah.
It's spooky. It's atmospheric. It's dark. It has incredible great moments and shocking ones like Bill dying and all that shit. And the resolution is literally, "Hey fuckers, it'd be more expensive to kill us."
Yeah.
The Doctor doesn't really take down. He plays by the rules of capitalism, but he basically, in doing so, says "fuck you" and saves the day.
I am so upset that Jamie Matheson and Sarah Dillard are not writing for the new series, as far as we know.
Oh my god, that's a fucking tragedy. Jamie Matheson, I think, is best writer of the series of the Capaldi era.
I think.
Oh yeah.
On the whole, yes.
I forgot to say that. I said it before, and I'll say it again. I still stand by it. After watching all of it on Blu-ray collection of the entire Capaldi years, Lie of the Land is the worst episode of it.
Yeah, it might well be.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my top and bottom three. Pretty good choices. This is a really good. There's a lot of episodes that would just barely make the cut, like Smile or The Pilot. Or Extremis, definitely. Like, Extremis is probably at number 4 on this list.
Yeah.
Just because I can separate it from the other monk shit. If you just ignore everything else in isolation and pretend the Doctor saved everything on the screen, or cast yourself back to transmission, that is an incredible episode. Just, holy shit.
It is.
But Brainiac, go wild.
Okay, well, I struggled a bit with some of these, because a lot of these were sort of like in the same area, like almost honourable mentions, but my bottom 3 were pretty obvious from the start. So number 3 then, The Eaters of Light.
Okay.
I wanted to like this one, I really did, given the historical setting, but I watched it again, it just didn't click for me. There are some good moments, you barely see the monster at all, which I realise is kind of the point. I like the bit with the Romans and rescuing Bill. That's fine, but it's just not as good as some of the others.
Yeah, like it's not bad. I say it's just not. It's just not up to that same level for me and for you personally. But I know people who really like it. El Senfer, really.
Number 2 also hurts to list this here because I wanted to like this so much, but it's not.
Yeah,
I think David Suchet is brilliant, and I think he gives a really strong performance, but he's not enough to save it, and the effects are not enough to save it. It just doesn't really work. For the first 20 minutes, it's just these kids that you barely know anything about, apart from Bill, just getting disappeared one by one, with no reason to care about any of them.
It's basically a typical horror movie nowadays where you don't really give a shit about the people who are getting killed off. You just want to see them get killed off.
Yeah. And number 1, surprising absolutely nobody, is The Doctor Falls. I mean, Lie of the Land.
Hey, our bottom 3 was the exact same.
Yeah.
How about that?
But here's
and
the
now
reason
you're marrying
why.
me.
I could rant about why this is terrible until the cows come home. I won't. But it's insulting to its viewers. It's a poor end to what could have been a brilliant multiple story arc. And the only thing that saves this from being perhaps the worst ever, like you said, are Missy's scenes. And even then, it might be the worst ever. Like, I know that Kat despised In the Forest of the Night when it first came on.
Yeah, fuck that.
And I get where she's coming from. But that didn't insult its audience, its intelligence.
Well, I will quote something that Kat said when we did Lie of the Land, because I went back and watched the thing. Kat back then said that In the Forest of the Night at least could have been saved by changing around some things, but the only way to save Lie of the Land is a complete rework of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love your idea, by the way, of having Missy present in that final battle. That makes me so sad they didn't do that, or at least have an alternative cut where that happened.
Yeah, like I said, I could probably go on about how to fix the Lie of the Land, but we don't have enough time for that.
Please don't. It's not that I don't respect your ideas, because I think they're brilliant, but we do have a time
we have a time limit.
Yeah. So with that in mind, my top 3 was difficult because, as I said, there's several ones that are just on the bubble. Honourable mentions like Oxygen, like Twice Upon a Time, which probably would have made it if it weren't for that one scene with David Bradley. That, having seen William Hartnell now in the Doctor Who Twitch marathon, which by the way was brilliant. If you missed out on that, I'm sorry.
You made it, Brainiac! London, 1965!
Yeah, the kids love that meme. But it was just so wholesome to watch a new generation discover that show for the first time and just love it. Love it to bits. And that's why it does not work when David Bradley's there talking about doing something to Bill's arse. It just doesn't work.
Well, to be fair, the jolly good smack bottom line is a direct quote. Something. I don't know which one, it's something. But the rest of it is not so much.
I get that the line is a direct quote from the series, but you didn't have to include it, and you didn't need to... I don't want to say the term.
He went a little extra, Moffat.
I don't want to say the term, because...
I would say... Sorry, go on.
I don't want to say the term, because it's a term that I despise, but how can I say it in a different way? It's not politically correct. It's trying to make out how much better the writing is now than it was then. And doing it in a way that's in your face and can't be avoided. I think you know the two-word term I'm trying to avoid like crazy here, but we'll leave it at that. But that's an honourable mention, because I love the surprise Rusty cameo. Oxygen's an honourable mention. But my top three... Okay.
Before you go on, can I just say something real fast?
Yes.
About what you were saying about Twice Upon a Time with the first Doctor.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it was not only just, like, oh, look, everything's so much better now. It was also, look, we have the first Doctor and we're so excited to write for him. Just hold on, guys.
Yeah.
They just sort of tripped over their own feet
and
while they were trying to write
I can't dislike them for that, because I'm sure it would be quite exciting to write for the first Doctor. But
yeah. So it's like, that's probably why they had the jolly good smacked bottom line. It's just they were so excited, and they're like, look, it's the first Doctor, and they, just sort of went over it.
And my other honourable mention is the Doctor Falls, but that did not make the top three, believe it or not. Because I changed his top three I changed his top three a couple of times. It was really difficult, guys. I can't help it.
I know. I mean, yeah, I get you, but let's hear what you got.
Number 3, then, is Extremis.
There we go.
And the other two parts of the trilogy have tarnished it a little, but if you take it as a standalone episode, it's absolutely bonkers in all the best ways.
Yeah, but that's the problem that I have, is I can't take it as a standalone because it's not a standalone.
Yeah. Fair enough. But the ideas of the simulation and people deleting themselves from the simulation, that's absolutely brilliant. I love the atmosphere of the vault scenes. The scene where the Pope bursts into Bill's house is the funniest thing they did all series. Ranting about how it's big on the inside in perfect Latin. That is just perfect writing. And all the drama about Missy and being executed, but him actually not doing it. It's just great. Number 2, and this might surprise people that it's so high on this list, but Empress of Mars is at number 2.
Okay.
I just loved it. It might not be a popular choice to have it this far up the list, but it was a ton of fun. And the more you watch it, the more I enjoy it. The only criticism is that Bill doesn't get to do a whole lot. She has some decent dialogue with what's his name? With the Rogue Ice Warrior.
Oh, Friday.
Friday, thank you. I couldn't think of his name off the top of my head. She has some nice interplay with him. But other than providing distraction, she doesn't do a huge amount. But it's just fun. It's a big Saturday night romp that we needed after the poison that was Lie of the Land. And if that's Mark Gatiss' final contribution to the show, then he's gone out on a massive high. Because he had a blast writing this.
I will say one thing, though. I do like, in that episode, well, you say Bill doesn't have that much to do. I like that she's the only one the Ice Queen respects. They're both women.
Yeah.
So that gives her something. Like a unique way to impose her own narrative. And
the Ice Queen is a really well-written character as well, by the way.
again, much like Cold Bore and popping the Ice Warrior as a suit and making it go on Alien, an Ice Queen, another neat idea expansion, or it's fun.
Yeah. And number one, I've raved and raved and raved about this, but World Enough in Time.
Okay.
If Heaven Sent didn't exist, this may well have been my favourite Peter Capaldi episode of all time. It's got everything. It's got shocks with Bill getting a hole blasted through 10 minutes in. You've got good twists with the Master being revealed to be Mr. Razor. You've got that amazing multi-layered cliffhanger where Bill's a Cyberman and then, the planet's actually Mondus, it's not Earth at all, and suddenly John Simm's back. It's just one punch after another, and it just hits all the right notes for me. And it's capped off by some superb acting by John Sim and Michelle Gomez. It gave me all I wanted and then some.
All right.
That's a pretty good list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure people are going to disagree, and if you disagree, that's fine. That's what good debate was built on.
If you do happen to disagree with any of our choices, please send us an email to gofuckyourself@gmail.com.
I would laugh if that was a real email address somebody had for like a laugh.
Oh, they're absolutely. That's already been taken by now.
I'm currently setting it up right now.
But with that, Series 10 is in the books again. And we look forward to the future!
Woo!
Series 11, which we still don't know a huge amount about. I mean, it's August now. We're recording this at the beginning of August. Just in case there's a delay in getting this out there.
Kat is literally setting up goals.
I think she is.
I am.
She is.
I am.
It's taken. It's absolutely taken.
Oh my god.
We shall see.
I admire the dedication to the running joke. That's fantastic.
Damn it! It's not allowed.
Oh. Well, you tried. But, yeah, we know very little about this, but what we do know, it's going to shape the foundations of this show. It's obvious that Chris Chibnall is going for a complete overhaul. And that might be something to do with the ratings, because at the beginning of Peter Capaldi's era, 2014, it was a 7.7 million TV ratings in the UK. By the end, it was 5.5 million.
Well, that's the thing with Doctor Who. The reason it survived so long is that every couple of years, it just completely shifts what the hell it is. Like, as shocking as it may be to go from Twice Upon a Time to whatever the first episode of Series 11 will be, and know in hindsight what's coming, like, you watch the Doctor Who Twitch Marathon. Try to imagine being a fly on the wall in 1970, going from the War Games to Spearhead from space, and just... If there was an internet back then, people would have lost their goddamn minds.
Yeah.
Like, what is this shit? It's in color, that's nice, but John Pertwee's Doctor, he doesn't even have his... He doesn't even go to other planets. What the fuck?
Why is Wurzel Gummidge suddenly a human and a doctor?
They wouldn't say that in 1970.
No, didn't Wurzel Gummidge come after Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always get the time confused, but yeah. But we do have a few details about Series 11. Obviously, the big one is we've got a new Doctor, and her opening minute in Twice Upon a Time was absolutely perfect.
No. Her opening minute in Twice Upon a Time was brilliant.
Yeah, fair enough. We know her companions will be Graham O'Brien, played by Bradley Walsh, who is pretty famous in this country.
I have no idea.
As a game show host and an actor and a presenter, he's pretty famous. So this is pretty big news. Ryan Sinclair is played by, I apologize if I'm getting this guy's name wrong. I think it's Toshin Cole, because it's Tosin. Tosin Cole. He's most famous for being in a couple of soap operas in this country. And the third companion is Yasmin Khan, played by Mandip Gill, and again, mostly famous for soap operas. But it's continuing the tradition of two of the companions, at least, not being household names yet.
Okay.
I mean, Billie Piper was a household name before she became Rose, so too Catherine Tate as Donna. Jenna Coleman was somewhat known because she'd been in Emmerdale and then Waterloo Road, but she wasn't hugely known outside of certain circles.
I mean, we know Karen Gillan.
Yeah, Karen Gillan, complete unknown, apart from her appearance in Defies Upon Pay.
And now, bam, fucking billion-dollar shit in Marvel.
Yeah.
Damn straight.
And long may it continue, by the way. We also know that an actress called Sharon D. Clarke will be playing Bradley Walsh's character's wife. The only other character that we know has been cast, for definite, is King James I. And he's played by Alan Cummings.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
Boris from GoldenEye.
Well, there you go. Okay.
And the role may end up being recurring, according to the actor himself.
What?
Well, yeah, but in the same way that Winston Churchill was a recurring role because he appeared in Victory of the Daleks and then he got like a minute in the finale.
Hold on. Are we talking about the same guy who was the villain in Spy Kids? Yes. Alan Cumming?
The Incredible Nightcrawler. Kurt Wagner, but he was also known as the Incredible Nightcrawler. Hey, if you don't think he's a good actor, watch The Good Wife and see his performance as Eli Gold. He's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I'm happy with that casting.
He's just known for a lot of not great stuff. I mean, he was in Spice World.
Yeah.
Spice World.
Oh, God.
But so was Richard E. Grant, Roger Moore, and a bunch of other people who deserve much better.
Fucking...
He was in Son of the Mask.
Oh, God!
Okay, maybe we're in trouble here, but
he was Loki in Son of the Mask.
Chris Chibnall has confirmed a few details himself. No multi-part stories this season.
Okay.
And a much more focus on new monsters and villains, and much less on returning foes.
This I like.
There may not be returning foes. We might not even get the Daleks back.
Which is...
Although, because of that whole deal with the nation state, I would expect at least a cameo.
Yeah, I mean...
And he could be lying. He could be...
Look what happened in...
Yeah.
They showed 1 minute of a wrecked Dalek yelling at Matt Smith, and that filled the quota.
And that was perfect.
So that's all you really need.
They had 2 times that they filled the quota in this current series, because they also had Rusty from Twice Upon a Time.
Yeah, you're right.
That's true. There you go.
And also for the Tennant specials, they filled the quota with the Waters of Mars.
That had Daleks in it?
It does. There's a brief flashback where a Dalek scans young Adelaide, and it's like, it realised you were important to history, so it couldn't kill you.
Oh, dang.
And that's why But yeah, they have a deal with the nation state that they have to show the Daleks at least once per series, or they lose them.
Well, this is also interesting because in 2016, when we didn't have a series, they released that little teaser from the pilot where the Daleks show up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think that would count. I don't think that would count because there wasn't a series, so I think that they get away with that because that year there was a full series.
Yeah, even so, they still technically used the Dalek show, put out a new thing of Doctor Who with Daleks in 2016.
Yes.
If the rights work like that, and they got it right.
Loophole.
And the only other thing we know apart from leaks that I'm not going to talk about because I haven't watched them and I have no desire to watch them.
Mm-hmm.
I think you saw them, and there was one screen cap you did link me, which I think is great, where she's got like an apron on and like goggles, and it's like for science.
It's fucking Doctor Who Insano.
Yes, basically. But there were a couple of official teasers released, and the first one was bad.
Bad?
I'm sorry, it was bad. It was just the characters basically.
Oh, that one where Jodie Whittaker zips around and fucks with all their shit? That one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Some people loved it. I didn't. I thought it was weak. Okay, it was a neat trick showing the football being broadcast as it was on. That was kind of cool because it was shown during the World Cup finals.
Okay, well, there was one cute thing about it that people on Twitter noticed. when she replaces Bradley Walsh's newspaper with a Beano annual.
Beano, yeah.
It's the same one that Matt Smith is reading in some episodes.
I bet you
They reused a prop?
Yeah, that's cute.
The Beano sort of suits Bradley Walsh to a T, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was his call and they said, right, we'll go the extra mile and use the same one.
It's very doctorish thing to plot.
But the second teaser is much better.
Yeah, it's okay.
They show some really nice locales. You get to hear Jodie actually speak a few lines, but they don't give anything away about the plot or the story.
But you'll be my new best friend.
That's how it should be.
Nice.
That's a teaser.
Yeah.
It teases you without giving away anything.
There you go.
I will say one thing. I'm going to go like really far back in time to a little mini series that is like 3 hours long. It's called The 10th Kingdom. I'm sure that I'm probably the only person in the world who would ever know what this is.
No,
I have no idea what you're talking about, but go on.
I've heard of that.
So, the whole premise is that there's these two separate worlds. One of them's a fantasy world where, Cinderella is real, Snow White is real, so on and so forth, and then there's our world. And the entire intro is essentially the same thing as the first teaser, where they go through like these visual shots of New York, and they slowly alter it to a more fantasy setting. So I kind of have a little bit of a soft spot for that first teaser because I love the 10th Kingdom. Okay. It's so good.
Basically, have you heard of a series called Once Upon a Time?
Excuse you. Number one, this was first. Number two, this is better, so fuck you.
No, I'm not. I was about to say, it's like that, but better. I was about to say the 10th Kingdom was like that, but better.
Not really, because they don't really focus on the characters of like Snow White and Cinderella and so forth. It's more about an actual person going to that area, so they don't focus on them as much as they do in Once Upon a Time, where everybody's fucking important.
Yeah. But no, the first teaser, I think with the first teaser, if that was our first glimpse into who the companions were going to be, I do beg your pardon, if that was our first glimpse into who the companions were, that would have been fine. But we already knew them. They'd revealed them officially on the website months ago. So it just didn't have the impact.
I still thought it was a nice, cute little thing, just something to tide us over while we go through our drought.
Yeah, some people online loved it, some people didn't, and again, different opinions are good.
Yep.
Hashtag centralism, yo.
And if you do happen to have a different opinion to us, this is very real. You can go exterminate yourself at gmail.com and send us an email.
Oh my god.
Did you really trademark that?
Yes.
Yes!
Yes.
Holy
we have go exterminate yourself at gmail.com.
I think we have our official podcast email.
Yes.
I think I love it. But the last thing to
I'll have Brainiac put it in the description.
I will. Don't worry, I will. The last thing to cover then is we've got a few rumours that we can't corroborate yet, but we might not be watching these episodes on a Saturday anymore.
Oh,
they might be moving it to Sunday.
That's
I mean, again, this was in the paper called The Mirror, so take it with a truckload of salt.
Bashing the mirrors again.
Yes, that paper I will bash till the cows come home because it's not very good.
See, on the one hand, it's The Mirror, so I know it has to be shit. On the other hand, they've been right before.
Yeah, they've got one or two things right.
So it's like this horrible balance of, do we believe them and get stuff ruined for us, or do we not believe them and then it turns out to be real?
But it's in the same way that a watch that's been smashed gets the time right twice a day. We don't have a confirmed air date yet, we've already said that, but as I say, the reason they're thinking of moving it to Sunday, so the source told The Mirror, is because it interferes with, or it has to compete with, Strictly Come Dancing. Dancing with the Stars in America, but we call it Strictly Come Dancing. It has to sort of get around that, so if they move to Sunday, they don't have that problem anymore. Another rumour, we're not getting 12 episodes.
Yeah, I've heard this one.
We're possibly getting 10, No multi-part stories, as was already confirmed by Chris Chibnall, and possibly each episode will be an hour long to compensate.
So a Colin Baker era trick.
We know that there's a new sonic screwdriver because we've seen it in official shots, and it's really weird looking.
And it's like weird, gnarly alien thing.
It's a lot more alien than previous incarnations, yes.
I mean, it could work. I mean, it's just a thing that you point at the thing and go brrr and fix the thing. So.
And the last thing we have to mention, the elephant in the room, is that Murray Gold is not going to do the music for this series. He's retired from Doctor Who officially. I'm going to miss him immensely. His replacement is a guy called Segun Akinola, who is a rising star in the composing world. He's perhaps best known for... And now
if we could have a brief moment, really fast, Rainiac, for all the people who care, please say something now.
Okay.
There we go.
Something.
I'm sorry, it's just you're the only guy in here who cares about the music.
I mean, I love the Clara theme in A.
I'm allowed to have a hobby, damn it.
This means we have to take... This means we have to find a new bingo space to replace Rainiac Talks About Murray Gold.
The point I'm trying to make, and not being allowed to make, is that as well goes to this whole new feel that they've got going here. There's a real focus on diversity, inclusion, things that are new.
Which is good. This show can't get anywhere without changing it.
It's good. It's taking a chance. In the current climate, it's taking a chance.
I will say, that's the one thing that irritated me about the pilot, though. It had, like, they were introducing to all this stuff and all that.
Yeah.
But to me, like, if you got into Doctor Who in Series 10, like, with that introduction, it'll feel like how all us felt in 2005 when we got into Eccleston. Okay, here's Doctor, he goes on adventures with Rose, and holy shit, completely different person, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. If they managed to keep Jodie Whittaker's appearance a secret until Twice Upon a Time, I think the world might have exploded, never mind the internet.
God.
But yeah, that's Series 11, and I am very optimistic for the future.
Fingers crossed.
A couple of nagging worries, but I'm just going to ignore them and hope we just get a really, really strong first season for Jodie Whittaker, because my God, she deserves it.
Oh, absolutely.
What a good actress, and what a decent human being as well.
Yeah,
if you've seen like
she definitely has it rough.
If you've seen like the footage from Comic-Cons that she goes to, just goes out of her way to be nice to the fans and accommodate them. Just the best.
Like, I wouldn't have been the most excited in the world for Chris Chibnall as head of the show, showrunner, head honcho, whatever you want to call it. Like, but Jodie Whittaker definitely gives my enthusiasm the shot in the arm it needs. Holy shit, I'm excited for her.
And on that positive note...
like I said, she has it rough. She has it really rough, so all we can do is just hope that she brings her A game.
Yeah, and hopefully that will be enough.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone who would be like more inclined to give her a really rough time is Ian Levine.
Yeah. Hopefully that's the last time we have to mention Ian Levine on this podcast. Life goals. But on that positive note, and also the note of fucking Ian Levine, I think that's going to wrap up our retrospective for Series 10.
We finally did it.
Yep. I'm sorry it took so long, guys, but, real life got in the way. As it so often does. So all that remains is to thank my guests. Thank you to Freezing Inferno.
You're welcome.
And thank you to Kat.
You're welcome.
And thank you of a sort to Kachiri, because he did try to get here, but he couldn't make it.
He will be missed. No, he won't.
Was that a moment of silence for Kachiri?
Yes.
He's not dead, Kat. He just didn't appear on a podcast.
He's dead to us.
God, I hope he doesn't watch this now. Oh, Jesus, that's going to be awkward.
Oh, he's going to watch this.
Yes, he is.
And he's going to send you a strongly worded
email, yes. Strongly worded letter or email. And on that bombshell, I've been Rainiac. Thank you very much for listening to
A
this.
perfect place for him to send that email.
Yes, like go yourself at gmail.com. I can't believe you did that, by the way. In the middle of the podcast, that is Italian chef kissing his fingers levels of good.
Mwah.
Yes, indeed. What he said. So, like I said, until next time, thank you very much for listening to the Doctor Who Reviews podcast, and we'll be back sometime towards the end of the year, when, we don't know yet, to start the adventure all over again with Series 11. Until then...
Hell yeah! We got new Doctor, new companions, new shit to talk about, new people, new places, new shit to drive into the ground and drive Rainiac insane, new people on this goddamn show, maybe, probably, I don't know yet. New this?
You are an enemy of the Daleks. You must be destroyed.
Holy shit!
Is that the thing
New
you
host
went
when
to
Rainiac
get?
finally fires Fresno.
Is that the thing you went to get, by the way?
Maybe.
It is, isn't it?
Maybe.
Positivity and Fresno getting a P45. Until next time. Oh wait, that reference doesn't work because you don't have P45 in North America. God damn it.
A pink slip?
Yeah, it means you're fired.
Yeah, pink slip.
I already fired him on Twitter for saying Hellbent was better than Heaven Sent.
I'll stand by that shit!
Positivity and contrary opinions. Until next time, for the third time I'm asking, bye for now. You know what? I'm going to...
And standing in for Kuchiri, this inanimate carbon rod!
It's like I'm having news for you where Roy Hattersley couldn't make it, so they replaced him with Tubble Lard.
Oh, Jesus.
Which won the game.
He's a mirror that we taped his face to. Just pretend.
Cat, no.
Anyway.
3, 2, 1, go.
Have we started yet?
No. You were waiting for 25 minutes worth. You can't tell it.
Cat, how best can I make something for the blooper reel at the end?
She's been thinking about this all day. I just know it. How can I possibly mess up the start of the recording? Oh, I know why.
Okay, let's go.
Right. See, this is why I dread doing this, but the show must go on.
And the phone! The show must go on, you say? One moment.
We couldn't have done that better.
Reviews, all right.
We couldn't have done that better. Oh,
jeez. We are not getting anything done today.
Nope. It's the introductions and that's it.